Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another game of Changeling to Dreaming 20th Anniversary Edition in the Living World of Darkness. Today, our scene opens on Alice Amari, currently dressed in a vibrantly pink dress with white trim and kind of a floofy skirt, sitting at a table waiting for some people she has invited to spend some time with to show up. In particular, a one Timothy and a, and I'm hoping I'm pronouncing this right again, Lyra. With that being said, she is currently at a table munching on an appetizer and sipping some water, looking at the door and waiting to see who comes in first.
Well, based on the fact that someone isn't quite here yet, I'm assuming that I will probably walk in first. Which, isn't at all who you're expecting. Especially in Manhattan, I imagine. But Misha has had a business meeting today. And is actually decided to stop and see if she can grab something to eat. And, there's a cauldron house here, and she hadn't been there in a while, so yeah, she's stepping inside and kind of looking around to see if she can find, well, she's not sure exactly what it is, but she either someone will see her or she will find herself a table somewhere. Whichever way that works, I don't know. If she sees Alice, which I'm assuming she probably would, and just for fun, we'll say she's sitting nearby, she'll look over and nod, she's not going to be rude or mean or weird, just kind of look over.
Alice will give her a slight wave at that.
And then she'll start looking at the menu because she's not really sure what this place is about.
Conversely, Alice is currently mussing around with a white hair bow, trying to straighten it and looking in a hand mirror, checking her makeup, making sure she looks presentable because she understands that certain pieces of etiquette are essential. Her makeup isn't as childish as it used to be. It's a lot more refined, a little bit more professional. Given her line of work, professional could have a different meaning for others. But otherwise, she's sitting primly, hands in her lap. A lot more formal than many of the people who have known her for a while would expect.
I don't know what to add to this at this point since they're not sitting together. So all I can say is that she will order a salad, probably with a shrimp appetizer, because Misha and her fish. And actually she's gonna get some sort of craft beer that they might have there. And yeah, that is after that she'll sit there and play on her phone probably as she kind of waits for the food to show up and the beer and all that.
So yeah, the door will open once again, and in will step two people looking very much alike, despite the fact that one is a guy, the other girl. Is Lyra and her brother. Lyra is this time wearing a soft pink. God, I had the name of it before, like a onesie, but then not something that you wear during the night. It's not a pajamas. Cat suits.
Tim's not letting me leave with
not cat suits. What's the
word
word for it again? Come on, people.
A jumpsuit?
Jumpsuit. Thank you. That.
Or no.
Yeah.
A what?
A jumpsuit suit is not something that's bad to wear. That's perfectly reasonable.
Or overalls. He could be wearing overalls.
Well, okay. Then Lyra wears whatever Tim has managed to get on her. There, you fucking come up with what she wears.
I don't care what she's wearing.
Ugh.
She wears something reasonable.
It is.
A onesie is not reasonable out in the middle of. No.
Oh,
Get out of here.
Jesus.
They work out a compromise.
No.
Look, sorry for that, you're grounded.
Well, in that case, you could come chasing her in because she's not gonna let herself be grounded by you.
I don't know if Lyra can actually unlock a door, so.
Dude, a jumpsuit is perfect. There's nothing wrong with wearing a bloody jumpsuit.
It's just a one-piece outfit. That's
Yeah.
all it is. It's pants. And there's actually some, like, I've seen it around on various fashion things over the last year or two. It's not the most popular thing, but it is out there, I promise.
Yeah.
I will laugh if it's a jumpsuit, but he convinced you to wear like a dress over it, so it looks like a riot of situation here.
I think the jumpsuit
Chris,
is the
I will send
compromise
you-
they reach.
That is fine. I can agree with that.
In fact, I think Timothy would be quite happy with a jumpsuit. For some reason, whenever I think of jumpsuit, I'm like, are you going
There.
parachuting or something?
Check your fucking Facebook. That's what a jumpsuit looks like. I literally just Google it right now. Ah,
Anyway, you're fine. I'm just trolling you.
It's fine, we get it. You're wearing clothes.
I'm wearing clothes.
You are
They're
wearing clothes,
right.
and you don't look like you're about to start the new trend of Mikado sticks.
No, because she gave those to Misha.
Yeah, she doesn't have them anymore. Misha can have them in her hair.
This pleases me.
Misha can't put them in her hair because her hair's too short.
Just shorts. Yeah, well, still. They're nice. She has to buy a new one. Well, she will buy new ones. Actually, this is exactly the topic that they're talking about when they walk in. Lyra's like, "Can we buy some new sticks?"
No,
But I need them.
no,
But I need them.
you don't.
Yes, I do.
I don't believe you.
Well, whose problem is that?
Pardon?
I said, whose problem is that?
Yours?
No.
I
Look,
think
okay,
it is.
I will say it like this. I will go and buy new Mikado sticks after we're done here. But I'm
Hmm.
hungry now. I want to eat something. I want to eat something pink, and then I want to eat something yellow.
I thought there would have been a pattern behind that, as if that made some sort of new color.
No.
But I was highly disappointed.
Alice will be watching them as they approach, having their conversation, and as soon as they're close, she'll stand and do a short curtsy. Lady Noel, Sir Noel.
Hello.
Baroness Amari. Bow.
Curtsy.
I'm glad both of you were able to make it.
Likewise, pleasure to be here. We've been trying to find our feet ever since we arrived. So
I understand.
We
Please.
apologize for being late.
Oh.
It was his fault.
It's no problem at all. Please take a seat.
oh well, thank you.
She'll take a seat with them. And so, you were saying you were trying to find your feet?
They're at
Yes,
the end
we've
of your
been.
legs.
We've been given a rough guide and history of all the major locations around the city, he does just straight up like there is that just half-second pause, and then just okay, I'm just going to ignore this person for the next 5 minutes. He just he says we've been given a rough guide and history of the major locations, trods and freeholds by Sir Cararis. Was quite the journey, in fact.
She'll nod her
A
head.
lot of history to take in.
She continues, like watching him, nodding, sipping her drink. There is a certain degree of, that polite listening, and before she kind of sets her drink down and looks at both of them. So, have you decided what you're going to be doing going forward?
He will. There is the brief moment where he's like, should I look to Rhea and see if she's no, fuck it. I'm gonna like by the time I finish this thought process, I'm gonna be she's not even gonna have considered this. um
I'm gonna sell paintings. Misha's gonna help me sell paintings in her shop. It is a way to get some money, and I think it would bring joy to people.
Well, I can fully approve of that. Bringing joy to people's lives is a wonderful thing.
She looks very proud and then kind of side-eyes her brother, as she had definitely seen that look. She's like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. What are you doing?
I myself hope to serve in perhaps a more conventional diplomatic role. It's come to my attention that Staten Island's territories have been rather closed off as of late.
Really? She looks a little concerned now. Is something happening?
Oh, my apologies. I thought it was common knowledge that supposedly the territories of Staten Island were fairly isolationist, is what I've been told.
Oh. She tilts her head. I have a pretty good relationship, actually, with their governor.
Oh.
Governess, she says, looking a little confused for a second.
Seems I've been mistaken.
Things have changed ever since Miriam ascended to the role of governor of the Governee? Governee.
Suppose one could call it a democratic state or a governor of a government.
Well, they do vote on their governor.
Lyra's just looking through the restaurant, kind of. She's not that interested in politics. She does, but Misha at some point. So she'll actually try to, make eye contact.
I mean, eventually she'll look up from her phone, especially when someone brings the beer by.
Then Lyra is waving.
She'll kind of give you a very small wave back, like a much less enthusiastic version than what you're giving. Well, she doesn't look unfriendly. She's just not as like, ooh.
Lyra is totally like, ooh, and
I know.
she'll like, she'll no motion for her to come sit with them.
She kind of glances over there because I mean that's actually where Alice is.
Hmm.
And yeah, there will be a text on Alice's phone. Just and I don't know if you have it turned on or not, but if you do, it goes off and it says, "Do you mind if I sit with you?"
She will text back. Sure, with a heart.
Oh, jeez. There's a little bit of a sour look on her face, but but she doesn't say anything. She just will grab her probably the shrimp appetizers come and the beer, and she'll start to walk over there and sort of grab a server on the way to let them know that she's moving.
Once Misha's at their table, Lyra will stand up, maybe a little too enthusiastic for like proper etiquette, but yeah, well, and she'll smile and she says, she's kind of looking at Arlen. She says, "I'd like to introduce you to Misha, councilwoman Misha."
And she'll hold out a hand to him, say, "Hi."
Chris, that's you. Q,
What?
you're getting introduced.
Oh, sweet.
Duh!
What'd she say?
Well, she said that this was councilwoman. This is Misha, councilwoman Misha, pretty much just like that. And Misha held out a hand and said, "Hi,"
Oh.
like to shake hands.
Ah, yes, I've heard of you. Chance. Oh, actually, yeah, we'll say it because this is title. Um, Chancellor Arlingary or Timothy Noel, whichever you prefer. He'll shake her hand.
Is this a formal dinner?
Not particularly.
Good. Then just call me Misha for now. I'm not really a big stickler about the whole councilwoman thing, but it is what I am.
I see. Well, please take a seat.
Thank you. As she will set down her things, the appetizer, and her drink, which is in fact alcoholic. If anybody's paying any attention, it's not like a heavy drink or anything, but it's like one craft beer. I was in Manhattan dealing with a business meeting, so I was meeting with someone who's probably going to sell things in my shop. So it went well. So I figured I would just stop here. I haven't been here in a while.
Well, we came here because we were invited.
That's fair. You don't really have to be invited here, but I understand.
Mm-hmm.
How fortuitous. We were just speaking about our respective roles and what myself and my dear sister here had decided for ourselves.
Oh, are you new as well?
quite.
I see. She said she told me she had a brother. I did not know you were both new. So what have you decided that your roles are?
Well, I had decided to take a more conventional diplomatic role. However, there are certain other paths I am currently considering or likely to walk down. I am quite interested in going on or doing a bit of exploration, and the idea of facilitating and adjudicating that. I hope that was not in character.
It probably was.
It wasn't necessarily, but if you want
Good.
it to
That's
be.
really good. Because otherwise, you would be the most grounded. Um. Oh my god.
I mean, she said
You
it
just
was,
say
she wasn't
the
political.
notion of facilitating and overseeing adjudicating promises and contracts is something that appeals to me, and also a role I am quite skilled at. Something I have quite a great deal of experience in both facilitating such things and ensuring that such obligations are upheld.
He's really good with words.
In other words, contracts. Got it.
Effectively, yes.
It seems
Promises
to be.
both formal and informal.
I understand. There seem to be a lot of people who require those when making deals. I'm not really one of them. I think that if you say you're going to do something, you should do it, because if you need an oath to prove it or a contract to prove it, then you might not be trustworthy to start with. I do see their uses, though. I'm not putting down your choice of art. I do see that sometimes they're needed. And it's not like I've never had a contract or an oath. I certainly have, so. Situation.
Yes, I understand the perspective. Not every agreement or promise need be mystically sealed, and not everything need be taken as something so severe as to require mystic reinforcement. As the way I perceive contracts is that it is as much a matter of severity as it is security. Not every agreement is relevant enough to require such a binding oath tied to it.
So you mentioned a diplomatic role with this?
What can I say? I'm multifaceted.
I assume then you're going to be working for the Count himself.
It is my vast preference. And we are of the same house. There is an understanding.
Actually, isn't the Count Fiona? Are you Fiona?
Indeed I am.
All right then, fair enough.
So yes, I'll most likely be working for the county directly, rather than any particular one barony or government within said county. And such a role does suit the purposes of a diplomat nicely. It would allow one in a diplomatic role to maintain a balanced perspective between the various baronies and governments. If I were to work for one barony or government, I'd be obligated to purely represent that one state.
Well, everything is a perspective when it comes to that. I mean, there's nothing wrong with working for one of the baronies, if that's what works for you. Some people see it as a means of finding their way up the totem pole. I mean, I am connected to a barony, and that just makes that my particular priority. And that's fine. I mean, there needs to be people doing it all. So.
That
Good
is
luck.
very true. Oh, sorry.
Oh, it's okay. She was just going to say, good luck with Count Leon.
Thank you. I endeavour to never need it.
He's a very interesting person. As are his friends, Han Brolo and Brocephus.
I've not had the pleasure of meeting those two particular figures yet, but I no doubt shall be engaging with them quite soon.
I'm sure you will.
Mm.
Misha's trying not to smile at this. Trying to keep this so serious is kind of killing her.
Personally,
Go on.
Personally, I believe working directly for the county to be a best case scenario for me. Being so new here, I have few, if any, ties to any of the baronies or governments here. To put it bluntly, there are no standing ties of loyalty other than the obvious.
Well, I'm sure Charles can, arrange that conversation for you with Leon.
Oh, with Count Leon, he is an upstanding member of my house. There is a tie, a personal tie of loyalty. A connection that I lack with any other barony or government within the city thus far.
I just meant that Charles works for him already, so.
Oh, yes. No, I was shown around by Sir Croris around the various baronies and parts of New York. So we know our way around the place now. A lot of history, a lot of recent history.
Indeed. And she'll look to Lyra and be like, is that the one you were mentioning the other day? The one that apparently I was mentioned?
Sorry? As Lyra, refocuses on the conversation.
When you guys met with Charles? Was that what? Did you said that he had mentioned me? Is that the same
Yes.
thing that he was? Okay. Yes. Apparently, Charles mentioned me. How charming of him.
Yes, you were mentioned. OC was Brooklyn, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You were mentioned when we paid a brief visit to Brooklyn.
I assume that would be the governing freehold, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Did you get to meet Sam?
Sam, I don't believe I have met Sam yet, no. Although I have heard of the governor, I do intend to meet him at some point as well.
Sam prefers they and their. Just to help you out when you do meet them.
More than fair. I was unaware of this.
Yes. But they are good people.
Oh,
A dreamer.
I didn't mention.
And I mess up those pronouns as well, so yeah. But anyway, I try to do my best.
If I may ask, I'm not sure if I'm being too personal or if it is a matter that I should know about, to be honest. About Mara and Parku.
Yes. What about them?
I've been given a rough rundown of the particular situation. I was just curious as to whether there was anything I could assist with, considering the situation of those two figures appears to be the source of these rather persistent nightmares.
Misha will look to Alice on that one because they're both involved there.
So much so that they have has ended the life of a fellow of ours, if I recall correctly.
Misha sits a little taller, like a little stiffly, if you know what I mean. And she'll be like, "Do you mean Maurice?"
I believe that was the person mentioned him. I'm sorry if I'm coming
Yes.
across as uncertain, because we were given a lot of information that scene.
Oh, it's fine. You can totally act uncertain if you don't remember everything. Like,
Well,
I think it is.
Lyra has eidetic memory, and she's just nodding. Yes.
Yeah, it was just the one guy, I think. Yeah. He'll just say yes. I believe so.
he was one of our councilmen. And he was grumpy and a literal grump. And kind and giving, and in his own way, a part of our family in Brooklyn, I guess you could say. I miss him. I don't think that Mara or Baku were deliberately trying to kill him. I think it was just... I don't think that was the goal. I think we found out later his heart wasn't... He was on heart medication. And I'm assuming his heart just couldn't take the nightmares one night. That's kind of what we think. But he's missed. However, as she tries to refocus on something not Maurice. We are currently planning. We know what needs to happen, and we know. We don't know the location, but we know how the trods. A couple of ways to get there. I mean, if people want to come along, because we don't know what's going to be along the path, that's certainly possible. We needed to find 4 sorcerers to give the Baku gifts. Well, to share with them. And we found 4 sorcerers, so now it's just a matter of getting there to do it. And we don't know what that will entail exactly. So that's the one thing that kind of, because what if we have to fight a dragon along the way, What if we have 3 paths that all look like trods, but we can't tell which one is the right trod?
I don't mind fighting a dragon.
I'm not sure it's really any of our first choice to do that. But the dreaming is a mysterious place.
I wonder if the dragon could be negotiated with.
I hear that's happened recently. I hear that's actually happened recently.
Excellent. Hopefully I may be of some use.
I heard that William was cutting a deal with a dragon. I don't know, it wasn't there. But it was just the whole, me throwing random things out that might be along the way. Other than that, I think we've that's really all that's left to do, is to actually go and do the thing so that it will hopefully balance things out with Mara, and then we should be getting a more normal amount of dreams versus nightmares.
Well, that's good, because I don't like to go to sleep right now. It's not fun.
Nobody does. I think my roommate has it the worst, aside from worries. I don't think he's had a single good night's sleep since this started, except for the ones that I gave him. People have found a few workarounds.
I thought it was part of this world that we couldn't sleep well.
It's not. It's not. It's not normal. Nobody likes this. But what we've figured out is that there's really nothing we can do about it until we can finish our plans and go, aka the next time we can. I think it's looking like it'll be in 2 weeks or something like that. A week and a half. Either way, you get the idea. And we're planning.
So we just have to stay awake for 2 weeks.
I don't suggest that. It's up to you what you try to do, but I hear that makes you insane.
It's not a particularly healthy way to live out one's life, I'll say that much.
Well, don't know if you two had heard, But like I said, we found some workarounds. Some ways that it's easier to deal with the nightmares, I guess you could say. Some of us have those. And I found a way that you just don't have any nightmares or especially good dreams that Baku would bring. You don't have either one. You just sleep. Normal sleep. But I can't do it all the time because of the glamour it costs. And glamour is harder to get a hold of at the moment, if you haven't noticed. But if you're skilled in the art of spring...
How do you mean harder to get hold of?
The nightmares are affecting the dreamers, too. And when they're stupid, tired, and bogged down with nightmares, it makes it harder for them to be creative and create the glamour that we need. And we found some poor souls that were ravaged, and that kills them right now. Or was it Rhapsody? One of those R words, OOC. Misha would have it right. There's like all those R words. Rhapsody, ravage. You get the idea. We're actually still trying to track down the person who did that.
Well, again, I offer my assistance if it ever becomes necessary.
Well, I can definitely forward both of you if you want the plans, the time, the date and time that we plan to go. You said you wanted to explore. Why not the dreaming?
So we're gonna go on an adventure. I like adventures.
That'll be our second one.
Yes. What was my first one? Oh, never mind. Yes.
Yeah. We're just sorting out some last details. As Misha glances down at her phone at Sorcerer Chat.
Is there anything we can help with for the last details? Do you need a unicorn?
I don't think a unicorn is going to help much here.
Good, because I don't have one.
It's fine. I don't think you necessarily need one. I mean, I have a bunny, and that's about it. And she's not big enough to ride.
Well, my friend is big enough to ride.
Excellent. So you get on there, I will get behind you, and Inaba can sit on my shoulder?
Yes.
I'm
I can
in.
fly as well.
That is one skill I have not yet pulled off yet.
This is how I can fly with my brother. He flies and I fly, sort of. I ride Periton.
Oh yeah. I should mention that Timothy has kind of like an awesome summer gown and wings out coming out his back.
What kind of
Should have
wings?
mentioned that. I think we made them eagle wings.
Eagle?
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
America.
America.
America. Um,
Miss British America.
The nightmares and a few other problems are, as Misha said, well underway of getting fixed. There is something, though, that if you're looking for adventure, very few people have had the time to look into in Bronx.
the Trods, the Dark Trods, huh?
Hmm.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
I actually know a lot of information about it, but even if I told you guys, I doubt you'd remember. But she kind of looks down at this. That she still, I think she still wears that stupid necklace.
uh, I've been researching trods in general, and I mean, dealing with dark trods has been something of a specialty of mine before. But I have been, uh, she pauses, collecting her thoughts, confined, to Queens and Manhattan for the most part.
So what is that adventure?
Find a solution for them. I mean, they're propagating all through the Bronx, and very few of us have been able to turn our attention towards them. Not with the nightmares from Mara and the Nervosa that's been creeping through Queens, or the nightmarish creatures that have been appearing throughout, well, everywhere.
I can tell you this much. According to the research that we did a while back, they're called dark trods, but in reality, the trods themselves are not dark. It's the fact that it's more the fact that it comes out on the other end in a bad place. So bad things exited. So we had figured out we had decided that probably the best way to resolve it was to change the location of where the trod went in the dreaming, so that it would just become a trod rather than leading to a place that's really awful. Because closing the trod, first of all, would be very banal, and second of all, is damn near impossible.
She nods her head. There are ways, but none of them are exactly safe, easy, or
Not banal.
I know one, but I'm saving that more for a rainy day if we need an emergency situation.
Interesting, because we talked to Fezzelwig a long time ago, and if anyone knows that library, it's Fezzelwig.
I know. Let's just say I have an edge up when it comes to this particular nugget of knowledge.
As you can see, we did start working on it. It's
But
just
then,
things got rough.
yeah. Um, there's also one other problem that I'm trying to deal with, but is very difficult. Councilman Black is helping me on this, and so is Sir Carraris.
That sounds like an amazing alliance. As Misha gives her this deadpan look.
It is wonderful. I mean, William himself went out to seek Sir Carraris' advice on the situation.
Huh. We had a meeting with him and didn't tell me. I'm so impressed.
Alice quirks a brow at that.
Misha's grinning. She doesn't
You're
act.
you're that close with Sir Carraris?
No, I'm talking about William.
She's grinning at that.
Hmm. You're not supposed to puka, Alice.
She shakes her head, tossing her hair a bit back and forth. What can I say? I've been spending a lot of time around Hall and Amber and Count Leone.
Fair enough. Did he take your deal?
He did. He also liked some of the ideas I was proposing. So I need to call together a meeting of all the governors and the barons, and we're going to have a discussion about the Feyway system.
Sounds good. Speaking of which, Paul has big bird wings like you do. His don't work though.
He has other ways to get around that I've learned about. I'm sure you know about.
Well, the fact that he actually is a bird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say it was awkward realizing that we both needed to find an alleyway to, you know, transform.
You know, I would wish that I could just have it that easy. You know, go to an alley and change, but that would be super awkward for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Thinking about that. Not a lot of alleyways
Seal
on the
flopping
dock.
down the alley. Whoop, boop.
Well, I mean, if you were willing to dive into the sewers.
No. She just no. If I had to do that, I wouldn't even. No, I would just go with my this form. I'm good.
She nods her head at that.
I could still stay underwater, either way. So
But yeah, there's the lane throughout the city. Or at least 2 baronies that we know of.
do you guys know what Selene are?
Well, this character has no changeling lore, but he does have she and Arcadian lore.
That would not give you Selene.
Yeah.
No. Because then he'd probably know them. If they're native to the Autumn world, then he probably
Yeah,
would.
no.
Yeah. Think of them as nightmarish, dark reflections of ourselves.
Still can't believe I actually saw Kelpie the other day.
I can't believe I know what a Kelpie is now.
I heard of it once. I know a bit more about certain other things. You know, like absinthe.
Oh yeah, goblins. Those fun, happy, murderous.
Assholes is the right word.
Alice bites her lip. She's.
You can't say assholes. That's a bad word.
And so are goblins.
Bad words?
They're bad individuals.
Goblins. They're mostly known for their ability to cause mayhem, chaos, build things that are temperamental. I guess the closest comparison is like, imagine a knocker. Now make it evil and give it a mustache.
Plenty of knock. Well, any fae can be evil.
Yes, but these are all evil as compared to can be evil.
Or at the very least, they're nightmarish and tend towards dreams of inequity. My husband's house spends a great deal of time fighting them, and, well, before we met, so did I.
So they are a danger. I'll note
Oh,
that.
they're very dangerous. The Count even has a kill on sight policy, because they are that.
That I was not aware of.
Oh,
I don't think
neither
he
was
did
I
either.
until my meeting with him.
I mean, I learned about it because William mentioned it.
William does not seem very happy with the idea of killing him, though. He would rather Leon killed him.
I mean, I don't really enjoy killing either.
That doesn't seem like a particularly wise idea, if I'm to be completely honest.
Yeah,
Leaders on the front line like that.
I prefer personally to eliminate them whenever possible. But when I'm working with Councilman Black, it's better for diplomacy's sake that we come to a compromise. But as a
Understandable.
baroness, I have been authorized to set them on fire and not let them leave.
I
You
can
and
agree
your
with that
fire.
sentiment.
Thelaine are just their mere presence can be problematic.
How do you mean? Do they exude banality or?
No, not that kind of problem. More, okay, Thelaine are nightmares made manifest as much as we're dreams made manifest. Their existence is anathema to our own.
Hmm, I understand. Very
Like,
well.
these kinds of nightmares that Maru's creating would sustain them.
And has no doubt empowered them across the area.
She nods her head slightly.
Which means that resolving the issue between Mara and Baku will not resolve our problems with the far lane.
No, it would not resolve with that lane.
But it will give us a slight edge compared to what we have now.
Well, being able to concentrate properly helps.
A lot.
Hmm. Well, from what you have told me, it appears to go beyond mere concentration. If these nightmares were to sustain them, that would imply they have gained a great deal of power, and if they were smart, would have found some way to preserve it.
Likely, we're trying to look into this. I have the names of 2 locations. Councilman Black and myself have plans to drop in,
Hmm.
and Sir Carraris and myself have plans to drop them. If you catch my meaning.
Indeed. I would offer to come along, but frankly, I fear I'd be more of a burden in my current state. I would need to equip myself to a far more suitable degree than I currently am. Those are resources not currently at my disposal.
What's what's the issue? Do you need armor or skills?
Apt armaments, largely. I am not. I am hardly the most skilled of fighters, far from it. In fact, I can imagine most figures in this city would be at least on par with me, if not superior, in a head on engagement. However, in the event where a conflict cannot be avoided, I am suitable with most form of close range weapons.
Sword? Knife?
A sword would be best. That is, of course, if you're offering.
I'm sure a sword could be come up with, if that's what you would need. There were actually quite a few that we got from the old ranchers. Freehold. Could probably
I've
get
heard
you
of the
one.
ranters.
Hmm?
I've heard of the ranters.
Well, it is no longer there, Freehold. It now belongs to some wilders that were particularly chosen to take care of it, actually. So it would be an otter puka and 2 selkies.
That is good. From what I've heard of the ranters, they appear to have been nothing more than
Terrorists is the word I'd like to use.
murderous thugs looking for a cause.
Yes, well, the last bit of them has been erased from that freehold. And I arranged with Mariposa to find appropriate people. Seeing as how a good portion of it is now underwater. So based on that, I'm sure you understand why it needed to be rather specific sort of people.
I can understand.
But yes, we collected up. They had quite an armory going on down there. So the bulk of that is now in my freehold. So if either of you would like some sort of weapon like that, we could probably come up with one for you.
I most certainly appreciate the offer. I will. I'll get back to you on it.
Okay. Because OOC, that's where Misha got her sword too. She already had the knife. Speaking of which, I should have mentioned, because this obviously you don't know Misha the way like some of these others do. She actually has, and you can visibly see on her, a chimerical gun that's like in a shoulder holster kind of thing. It's obviously, it's like tied and everything. Like it's not, she's not using it or pulling it out, and it's set up so it's not going to fall out. Therefore, it would not be easy to get out quickly, but it is there. It's like sort of a steampunk thing with roses on it.
Guns and Roses, huh?
Well, I mean,
Hey.
I feel certain that Alice knows exactly where that gun came from, so that's what, that particular gun is specific. She also has a knife, but you can't see that because that's in a pocket.
Arlen begins to finish up his drink and food at this point, because, I mean, it's been a while, so he's been eating and drinking.
Alice, who has been quiet for most of this, has long since finished eating and has just been, for the most part, watching everyone.
Arlen is meticulous even in how he eats.
Misha would be the only one who would really notice the difference, but Alice has become that way as well, from which is vastly different from the far less formal way she used to eat before.
Oh,
she used to look
she's
like
not
she
surprised. Yeah, because you've been probably learning etiquette, and refinement. I
You're
mean,
supposed to bring balance to the dreaming, not doom it to darkness.
well, the funny thing is Misha actually has called her a traitor before, so yeah. But that is not going to be brought up right now in character.
As Arlen kind of drinks, puts down his cup or whatever, his goblet, whatever they're using, glass. He will briefly look to his sister, who is doing what exactly? Has her face hit the plate?
No. No. She does, however, she's not eating as she didn't even seem to realize that there's food on her plate. She's just kind of, staring off, looking around.
It's funny because she was so hungry a minute ago.
Yeah, she was. That's funny.
Are you not hungry? Rhea. He just kind of says curiously, looking at her plate.
She seems to notice the plate for the first time. It does the awkward thing of checking the food. It's not all pink.
Little is.
I think she's going to say, I think the only thing that I know of that's all pink would be like if you ate a whole bunch of Starburst, or like if you ordered strawberry mousse, like if they have that.
At the mention of eating stuff that's all pink and then Starburst, Alice will take up her pink purse, open it, slide a pack of all red Starburst across the table, and then put her purse away.
It's the all pink ones, right? Because I know which one you're talking about.
Yep.
Okay. Those are the best ones, the strawberry.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they are amazing.
Laura smiles very brightly. That's good. And she'll stuff a few of them in her mouth.
You'll be chewing a while, therefore not talking. Because those things are chewy. Stick to your teeth.
Arlen wonders why his sister is currently being the worst, and is slightly sad inside. He'll probably be feeling this way many more times before he dies.
Probably.
For the yellow, well, I know she didn't say the yellow. She said that to you, so never mind.
Yeah, I'm not bringing it up because I don't want to give her ideas. Let her be absent-minded and forget.
Oh, you're not the only one who's used it against her. She asked a question, Misha's like, and changed the subject, and it never went back.
Get that glasswalker out of here. So Darling just kind of waits while his highly strange and awkward sister chews on Starburst instead of eating the meal in front of her that was lovingly cooked for her by the people who run this Cauldron House.
I mean, once she finishes the Starbursts, she is gonna, just eat the other food that is actually on the plate.
Okay, this is acceptable as a compromise. The most I can hope for. This causes Arlen to relax, just ever so slightly.
So if you're going to be handling a lot more diplomacy, are you going to be spending more time in Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, Staten Island, you've already mentioned?
Yes, I will be visiting all the various territories and making my presence known and establishing formal relations and hoping that I may be able to assist in bringing everyone together in some capacity or another.
Why do I feel like we should all start singing Kumbaya?
Yeah, I have the same idea.
She shakes her head. No, the last time I started singing in a restaurant, everything got weird.
Well, that's the kind of decision you make when you're drunk.
I was not.
Yes, you were. She looks at her.
We're not. I have an image to maintain.
Deep down, Arwen is like, yes. And you have destroyed it. Okay, he might be that judgmental, but still.
Yeah, Misha just doesn't say anything. I mean, she's just like, because she kind of knows that the alcohol totally played a hand in her doing that.
Oh, Misha, I almost forgot.
Yes.
There's something I'm going to need your help with.
Oh, good. I've been waiting to see how I could help my Baroness.
I am not your Baroness. I am not they.
Misha's just grinning. You know, that very mischievous grin.
It's more about a treasure.
I'm listening.
I'm just going to need some reliable security. And by reliable security, I mean people who I've fought alongside before so that we kind of know how each other works.
I'm pretty sure the only time I fought at your side, and it's even questionable whether it was really at your side, but was when we were dealing with whatever that thing was, and Chaxine was there.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you're one of the ones who knows what I do and how I work, and I mean, otherwise right now it's just Caldwell and, well, whenever I have the chance to talk to William about it, we have to get through whatever's happening with Baku and Mara that we're going to do. But after all that's solved, there's a quest I plan on going on.
Would you like to share more with the class?
She looks at each and every one of them. So, I have a strange flail that is indestructible, and I have a egg that turns me into a magical girl.
Yes.
I want to see if there's a way utilizing the dreaming to merge the two.
So you want to make the egg indestructible, basically.
Or you wish to give the flail the power to turn you into this magical girl?
And be indestructible.
Are you not already magical?
Or you want an egg that has a flail on top of it.
She pauses. Any of those could be acceptable outcomes. We're just going to...
Or put the egg on top of the flail.
Yeah, so you would whack them, and then instead of like hurting them, you just get like, is it a chocolate egg?
No, it's an egg filled with love and magic and all of the
Even
things that
better.
bring out the best in people.
Yes.
Also,
you
it
should
allows
definitely
me,
put it on a flail.
and then when I'm transformed, I gain the ability to utterly annihilate and decimate my enemies, sending them running and screaming, wailing and gnashing of their teeth if they're still alive.
That doesn't sound like fun.
Well, not if you're the one who's, wailing and gnashing your teeth. But if you're the one making them wail and gnash their teeth, it might be more fun.
I mean, I'm just killing them with kindness.
Why
Literally.
would you kill them?
because things I fight are evil, like nightmares and Thelaine and um.
Maybe they're just misunderstood.
See, I used to think nightmares were misunderstood too, and then they started murdering people, and that's less misunderstood and more murderous.
Hello.
William, come on over.
Oh, William, by the way, this is in a Cauldron House in Manhattan.
Yeah.
Just letting you know.
Mm-hmm. William, again, has this huge, large dog, 2 dragons on his horns, and he's 8 foot tall troll.
Councilman Black, you still remember the twins, Lady and Sir Noel?
Yes, I do.
Yes, Councilman Black, come here and be proper with us.
Yeah, who needs titles right now? We are not in.
I already said that too.
Are we in crazy politics?
I mean, there's been some discussion of politics, but it's been very civil.
Just, exactly how I'm always.
Yes. That is exactly how you always are.
He sits down.
William, we were just talking about you actually, and less politics, more quest.
I'm all ears.
I'm trying to get everyone I know, anyone who wants to come along, and mostly the people who I've fought alongside to help me.
You're
knows.
more all horns, not all ears.
Pardon?
Well, you said you're all ears, but you're more all horns.
Yes, you are all ears.
No, my ears aren't that big either.
So I plan on combining this indestructible flail, she says, with my, my magical girl transformation device.
Hopefully it will work.
And I'm probably going to need some assistance, deal with trials, get attacked by things in the dreaming.
Usual.
Pretty much.
But before that, we need to pay our debt to a dragon. You and me.
We have a lot we have to do. Yes. First, of course, we're going to have to deal with the whole Baku and Mara. Then there's the dragon, which I think we're going to get done before Baku and Mara. And so I'm assuming after all that calms down, you're up for an adventure into the deepest, darkest parts of the dreaming?
Probably.
Aren't those the best parts?
Mm-hmm. And William, if you want, I can pay you for this. I mean, you're already helping me deal with a Nervosa. Every other problem in the city.
When did the brothers and sisters start paying each other for helping each other?
Never. I just feel bad because we're like, it's like we're trying to help the entire city and stuff.
That's what the reasonable individuals do, especially the good leaders. They help their people. At least in my opinion. So.
Well, aren't you two adorable?
Thank you. You're adorable as well. You're adorable, Misha. It's just, personality is the problem.
I know I am. I do it on purpose.
Exactly.
But before that, we were talking about the Thelaine situation. I was informing them that I'd been doing some research. I've learned a little bit more, and that we've also learned that they are more omnipresent than we thought.
I feel like the Mara and the Baku situation is helping them.
Yeah, that's actually what Tim. She looks a little questioning, like if that's okay to say or not. But what Tim was saying, but he felt that way too.
How does he know? As he like turns to Tim. Made a research?
I've been informed by various members of the county of the rough situation regarding Baku and Mara.
Is there any proof that you have that they're getting stronger because of the situation?
I thought he was just theorizing.
I was
Nice.
just
Okay.
hypothesizing.
I understand. Well, it's true because they are. I think they're not affected. They don't look tired when I watch them from a distance.
Well,
They look normal.
William, they are living nightmares, so that feed off of nightmares.
Yes. One thing that everybody should actually know, they have been capturing changelings. One of the person of these slaves is actually in the Freehold of Free Hair. He is a dog puka.
Mhm.
Basically they're like, I think there are one type of them that is like eating us.
Well, yes, you said you met a lovely gentleman who was trying to eat us.
Yeah.
Alice will nod her heads. There's a lot of them, different types.
Hopefully.
That doesn't sound very nice.
No, I think some of the worst are William would hate these probably more than any, but they're called Sevartals.
Which ones are those?
Oh, they're like the royal noble by birth
Oh, they're the
Elaine,
she-like ones.
who, yeah, I guess.
Trolls are like I think there's cold ones are called ogres, like trolls.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep.
we saw that Kelpie the other day.
And everyone knows about Absinthe being a goblin.
Fuck
Yeah.
Absinthe.
Okay.
But yeah, there's ones that apparently rule over by birthright the others.
How
Yeah,
awkward
sure.
for them to have such a small kingdom.
Apparently their kingdom isn't that small.
Well, I guess you'll never be out of a job then.
No, unfortunately. Uh, William, you heard about the one who's a politician, right?
Yes.
It's one of the reasons why we can't go after a lot of them.
There needs to be some kind of backing because this guy can make sure that we like those kind of like people missing from the bars he can like point out in a political environment that would like cause problems for us. So yes, it is very bad.
He could make a lot of us and our lives very difficult.
So where exactly is he some sort of political presence at?
He has political presence throughout the entire city. He's actually,
Yes.
I believe, a politician of Queens. So
He is also entering to the hall. Mayor's place, goes out, does stuff.
Oh, interesting. This seems right within my skill set.
yes, it does.
If you want to look into him, see if there's anything that could be learned of him, if that's your thing.
If you want, I can try to get you an audience.
Maybe we can, I don't know. Is there something we can do politically against someone like that?
Activists. I'm an activist. I can try to use some of the stuff I have as well.
Maybe we should make friends with him.
No.
No, the standing order is, and I quote from Count Leon: "Kill on sight with extreme prejudice."
But if we're friends, then
Then you are disobeying his orders.
we can get closer to him and we can do what we need to do better.
I suggest that you talk to Count Leon if you want to question his orders.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
No, I mean, I'm sure he'd listen.
Yeah, I mean, if you had a plan, I'm sure he would. He would just probably like to know that that's why you're getting close to a Thelaine.
He has a hands-on approach to many things in the city.
Mm-hmm. Personally, all I would rather do is get invited to one of his parties and just poison his drinks, but I am neither good at poisoning or being inobvious.
I mean, if we are talking about killing people in a feast, I know we know who to go to.
People? No, I just meant him. I'd assume that he doesn't invite all the Thelaine of the city to his social engagements.
Probably.
That wouldn't be awkward.
It would be. That'd be a lot of dead socialites and a lot of questions asked, and I would be there and I'd probably be thrown into a banal prison, and I don't want to die.
I was just gonna say, haven't you like made front page news a little too much already? For the wrong reasons, I mean.
No, I think I get like 2 more celebrity oopsies.
If I can be given a full story on this figure and his current state of affairs, or at least as much as we know, I might at least be able to acquire us more information and formulate a plan.
If you wish to formulate a plan, I mean, you say that you want to do it on your own, or
He says that this has to do with his skill set, I think.
This is, from what I have only learned of this figure tonight, so obviously I'm not going to jump out of this building and begin charging headfirst into this figure. What I do intend to do is find out more about the situation regarding this figure and see what I can do, particularly if everybody else, or anybody else rather, has already has something in mind. I'd rather not step on anybody's toes or get in the way of an already active plan, because that wouldn't really aid anybody.
No, more information would be great.
more information would be great. I think the Charles is interested in this. I know Alice is interested in this. He kind of looks at Misha. I think Misha is interested in this. Not sure. But I know you
I'm
were
interested, but I don't have enough pool in the mortal world to do anything with this. So
yeah.
Uh,
Maybe we can come up after we all try to find information about this guy and then, meet and create a plan, because I think like creating a plan like, Ocean's 11 can be nice because you don't
What's
need all the
Ocean's
attention.
11? Is that like Ocean's 8?
Yes.
Do we know do we know Absinthe's mortal name?
That guy's not Absinthe.
it's not Absinthe. Absinthe is
He's
dead.
Well, Absinthe. Oh no, not Absinthe. Sorry, yes, the other one.
He gives the name of that politician because he knows it.
Yeah, if you need the name OC, go talk to Carol, because our characters know it. I don't think we as players remembered it.
Yeah, like I don't remember OOC.
God damn it.
But he
I'm
says,
sorry.
William said, so like for more information and just to let you know what kind of person that you deal with is like he's pretty handsome. He his
This
surname is
statement comes across as completely hollow to the appearance thick she.
his surname is an anagram to goblin. At the same time, he deals with people who are actually like going into a place and getting like going in with suitcases. Deals with suitcases are happening there as well. Where I felt like it was like a butcher shop. So maybe he has connections to mafia as well. I'm not sure.
That said, he is still involved in the political world, and as that's one of the areas I have a little bit more knowledge in, I was going to suggest that maybe I could use my personal influence to open some doors for you, so that you can have an easier time gathering information on our particular subject.
I'd be very grateful for the assistance in whatever capacity it can be given.
You're very welcome. We of the Barony of Manhattan appreciate the assistance you're providing.
In which case, I'll look into the matter further and see what I can dig up for you.
And I'll see what doors I can get open. You don't mind black tie affairs, do you?
The silence is so long, as if that question really should answer itself.
What was the question?
You don't mind black tie affairs, do you? and and Arlen's just like this sort of blink once answer until he realizes, oh, that's not a rhetorical question, and he just says, oh, I don't mind them at all.
Great. Well, I appreciate that. I know Sir Carraris does not like to go to events.
Ah, yes.
Can
I'll
I come too?
also have a word with. Oh no, you won't interrupt, sister.
Oh, she just asked out of the blue, can I come too?
Alice looks over at Tim.
So should I just roll like a Wheel of Fortune or some shit?
Between no, no, what do you think? And you're grounded, lady.
Between no, an exclamation mark, no in all caps, no, stop talking, please, and you're grounded.
Yeah.
Oh god. I don't. It depends on what he knows about her. I don't know. Because I think she has in her backstory they've been together at these events before.
Yeah,
And she's
yeah.
done this fine. But now she's all weird.
I mean, no, I don't have it in my background, by the way. So, but you might know it, but I don't know if, like, you know. So, poking SD.
Damn it.
Okay, you know what I know.
He will just say he will just say to her, I'll see what I can do.
Okay. So I don't want you to go alone.
That's more than fair.
And if you need my assistance, I can be there too. I mean, whining and dining is kind of what I do lately.
Well, you know far more about the situation than I do, but at the same time, I'm already benefiting. Well, I would already be benefiting from your assistance. So I would not want to depend on you so much as that it would hinder you or become a burden.
She smiles at him. Sir Noel, assisting, helping, or doing anything for someone in the city is never a burden. It's my pleasure.
Hey, you flatter me. but nonetheless, I would not wish to abuse your good graces.
She nods, smiling brightly. Well, they're at your disposal should you ever need them.
So which barony you guys are going to work?
I will most likely be working for the county directly.
Really? The county allows like babies like you guys immediately? That's crazy.
Alice's
Face flattens.
hand goes to her face.
Like, really, guys? Like, you just survive. Like that position kind of was offered as a privilege to others.
It is
You
true we
kinda,
have
like,
arrived
nod
recently,
to
but I would certainly not call myself a child.
Why? Like, you just arrived to this world.
Exactly.
Sir Noel, I think what William's referring to is that Sir Carraris had spent a great deal of time and effort to ascend to that position, doing great deeds and manipulations on the behalf of the city.
He has earned his place. He did a lot to a lot of problems. Like, what did you guys do? You guys didn't do anything yet. And it's nothing to do with, your incapabilities or capabilities. It's because of you guys are around you. It's just a surprise to me that you guys are in the county. Hopefully,
Well, to be fair,
it'll
my
be well.
arrival here has also been something of a surprise.
What here?
My arrival here has also been something of a surprise. Nonetheless, I do not see how it should detract from what I have done on the other side
William,
of the world.
well, not just William. I would say that it's best to just leave this in Leon's hands.
I mean, it's
First of all.
already in Leon's hands. So there's nothing we can do
Yeah.
about it. It's a face-palmy thing. I would rather you guys have like a lot of experience before you go up there. But it's not my decision.
I have much experience in the political sphere. You need not worry about that.
Politicals is not the only thing you do. When you are in a position like that, you're a noble. That means you have a responsibility to the people. It's not just politics.
His focus, if you would allow me, Sir Noel, I believe is going to be primarily as a freelance diplomat on behalf of the county.
The county needs to talk with other counties.
Rather serve as a liaison to the various baronies and governments to ensure that everyone is connected and communicating in a healthy fashion.
Oh, which baronies needs liaisons or governments?
Sir Noel had mentioned before that he had taken a particular interest in Staten Island.
Yes.
Quite nice.
And it also appears...
Please go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
It also appears there are strange happenings up in the Bronx as well that I intend to investigate.
Yes, the Dark Trot is a huge problem that we have been unable to deal with for a long time. I also have been doing to investigate and trying to finish that problem once and for all. People of Bronx has suffered a lot.
Unfortunately, there's not enough hours in the day, hence why, at least I know for William and myself, we've been stretched a little thin.
More people helping people, more, individuals who sees this being a noble as a responsibility and helping people is quite nice. It used to be individuals who just sees this as a, like, I'm a she, YOLO, solo, or I'm a noble, fuck you. It's good that, people see this as a responsibility and try to work, because it just used to be like, I'm a noble. I don't do shit.
Wait, we need to work?
Yeah.
I like this laugh.
I mean, nobility should be a responsibility, right?
What should I do?
What you can do for the people.
What are you good at?
I don't know. She looks at her brother.
I remember during our time back in Acadia that you were a notable prophetess and seer, and a remarkable artist.
Can that be work? I didn't think that was work.
That would
I think-
definitely count as a form of occupation, yes. I
Okay.
believe under the mortal definition.
I usually think like the being a seer is a very weird thing. I never understood it, the prophecies and all that jazz until I find myself in one. I know that the baronies or the barons mostly have a court that includes a seer, or counties, or duchies. And
Well, I can definitely see the rather obvious value in an advisor who can perceive the strands of time.
Which I've been meaning to ask, is there someone holding that position in Brooklyn?
no,
Not currently.
we have a council members, and we actually talk about having assistants.
Well, that sounds like a perfect position. If Lyra is fairly talented in those arts, she could work in Brooklyn.
If that's something you're interested in, you should contact Sam, our governor.
Exactly.
Yes. My sister's also been referred to another figure to, I suppose it would not be hone her abilities, but re-hone them.
Hopefully, you get educated.
Well, we're all currently pretty much always being educated.
No, education never stops. But again, she's a childling, right?
Yes. At least as far as I can tell.
Sorry?
Nothing. It's just
My sister
Are you-
is well educated and well looked.
your sister's well educated in what?
Oh, well looked after.
Sure.
Nobody was questioning that. There's nothing wrong with being a childling. It's just a different point of view.
It's some people see as childlings as like if they're a childling, they shouldn't hold a position because they're childs. Some people sees them as like they're changelings. They should be held responsible to their actions. I am among the individuals who usually think that childlings should not hold responsibility and not be held extremely responsible to their actions because they are childlings.
Alice has a quirked brow and a large smile on her face as she's looking at William.
Yeah, Misha wasn't thinking that, but when she sees your face, she's kind of like, oh yeah. But she was thinking, because she has an odd look on her face too, because she's thinking of another childling she knows.
This is all noted by Arlen, who just kind of analyzes the situation without saying anything.
And Lara just discovered her food again and seems to be very happy about it.
Yay! Food.
This again changes to individual, and again, the person who gets to say anything about this as a last call is the count.
Well, I guess my thing is I would really hate to see someone with talent go to waste.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I mean, some childlings might have been fighting horrible nightmares for most of their uh, time since Chrysalis, or others might have some experience with divining the future.
Completely.
So I guess we're back to the, if you're interested in potentially being a seer for Brooklyn, you should contact Sam.
If you're looking for Staten Island, there's always uh, Governor Miriam, uh, Baroness Mariposa of Queens. There is. She pauses.
Castolis.
Uh, Baron Castolis of Bronx, and then there's always Count Leone. And for Manhattan, well, you have my number, she says, grinning.
Also, I think the Sears is a Megagen and an issue. Yeah, he is a. He had said some questionable things in the past. Not a lot of people remembers him very nicely, but
Who was it?
a Megagen, the one who actually told that Commoner should marry to a Baron to stop all the problems.
Now, that was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago, and a lot of people forget, though.
Oh, I can promise you that some individuals still remember.
So can I.
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
Always.
Yes, that is cheese on your food.
She stares back at her food again, then back up. No, hmm, the food is good though. Is there gonna be a dessert?
If you want one,
Yes.
well, when the server comes back, ask for a menu or ask them what they have.
Okay. Then she eats the rest of her food.
So, William, what's been going on?
With what? Which one? Which problem? We have multiple problems.
All of
I
that.
meant with your life. We we're done. We've already discussed all our problems. I mean, unless there's more problems that you've discovered, at which point in time I'm going to tell you that I need sleep at some point.
My life is quite fine. Except Bakumara, Tulane problem. The shit I want to do for Brooklyn that I keep saying later because of Mara and Baku problem.
Oh, is something wonderful you have planned? Festivals, uh, infrastructure projects, um, writing a new political treatise?
All of them, you know. That's
Crazy
quite a lot
grand,
more true.
crazy grand speech that will, basically decide who's going to be count.
Falling asleep in the bar is also a problem.
Why?
Uh, what I can think of a lot of problems with falling asleep at a bar.
Yeah, I
Um,
fall asleep in a bar, and, you know.
about 8 months ago, I probably would have been able to list 0 ideas. She says, thinking.
William looks at Lyra like, what does she means? He kind of like gives her a look like, what's up?
Oh, she just has a vague smile on her face.
What's wrong?
Huh? Nothing. I
What's
thought we
wrong?
were listing your problems.
I was asked a question.
I just wanted to help you answer it.
Sure.
Because Misha said that if you fall asleep in a bar, you can get pickpocketed, or there can be assassins.
Yeah, there can be 8 people attacking you, calling you
Yeah.
traitors.
So it's a problem when you fall asleep in a bar.
Well, that's why I was staying with him.
Yeah, but if you just don't fall asleep in a bar, then there's no problem.
Life is that easy.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I remember when life was that simple.
I think the more things we accomplish, the more shit we do, the more complicated it gets. That's very weird, and
No, I'm not very complicated still.
you are. Don't lie to us. You are.
Please, Alice, we've known you. It feels like forever now. You are complex. Deal with it.
I am so straightforward and simple.
So do I.
You are so full of shit.
No, actually, like me and Alice, we are kind of like similar regarding like being straightforward in a lot of stuff.
I think she's saying both of us are,
Yes.
full of it.
No, I didn't say that, but I will agree that that is true. But it's said in only the most loving of ways, William.
Of course, the personality of Misha strikes again.
I have the most best personality.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Can I
Alice
ask a
is actually
question?
pulling out a pen and writing down that sentence.
Which one? I am the most. That whole thing I said?
Yeah, I am the most best personality.
Yes.
Lyra, you were saying something?
Can I
What are
ask
you?
a question?
Please.
If I would be a seer for a baron or a county or a barony or whatever, would that mean that I can't help other people?
Of course not.
Can't do things for other people?
Nope. It does not mean that. It just means you have a bit more of a focus. So if you're given two, say you had two things that needed done, one of them is for whoever you're connected to, the other one is for someone else, you would have to choose the one that was connected to your people.
Even if the other one is more important?
Well, you could always talk to them and be like, okay, look, there's this. And you could always talk to the governor and try to get it sorted out. You could do that.
Oh, okay.
Working for the county makes it a bit simpler. You'll be placed wherever the priority is highest.
Well, kind of. Your problem with that is that, and she's gonna look at Lyra and just be like, "Are you? How good are you? Have you mastered soothsay?" And I normally wouldn't ask this direct question, but I would say to work for a county, you would probably need to be very skilled.
Best.
What are you doing? Using my words for a song?
No,
Yes, probably.
I am trying. It doesn't sound right in English. I'm trying to make
Right.
sure I understand what the sentence. She has actually on a napkin done that chart that you can do for
Yes.
breaking down words
I
in
love
English.
doing those. I loved doing those as a kid. That was like my favorite nerdy thing to do.
That is what she has done because she is trying to understand the sentence.
And she just looks at Alice and says, Puka, don't stress over it.
I think you don't need to be master to work for a county. I don't think Charles is a master when he started working for a county, or I don't think, many people were masters when they start working for a county. It's just, I believe working for a county and barony, like, again, in the past it was presented as a privilege to be there. And, if everybody can just work there. He just like kind of like shrugs.
I mean, if
I
you,
like earning things.
Have to work for someone? Can't we just work for everyone without working for a county or a barony or something? I don't like that.
That's the downside to accepting a position of any authority or a title within the hierarchy that is our society. You'll end up
So,
being beholden to someone.
so if I don't have a title or a position, then I can help everyone.
Alice looks at William, then looks at Misha, then looks at Tim.
Much harder to do so, but yes.
Okay.
I mean, to be fair, like we, I mean, a lot of the stuff we do crosses borders. Sometimes the
We
problem is bigger than just like what your barony or governor or whatever needs.
But that's because you are important.
I'm not sure I would go that far.
I would. You're very important. Councilwoman Misha, you're one of the most important people in the city.
So either you have to be very important to be able to help everyone, or you have to be not important at all, and then I will be not important at all. Choice mate.
Um,
Oh, I
well,
would like every dessert. Hello, 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 meneer. Sir, waiter. Yes, thank you. I would like to have every dessert.
Alan just leans in and says, "I thought you wanted a yellow dessert."
And everything that's yellow that you have.
No, just
Thank
a yellow
you.
dessert.
Misha just looks towards Timothy at this point because she's not paying for this.
Well,
I'm
Alan's a guest, so ha! This is why being a host is such a burden. Cause Lyra exists. It just makes you pay for all her stuff. And Alan
I
just
really need to
whispers to
negotiate a
Lyra,
new
"You're
contract.
oh, he just
Uh,
yeah, he oh, sorry.
So there is a she who did walk away from their house. Her name is Trin. So it's happened before. And conversely, there was Count Leon was is a Puka who was elevated to his position, so it can go either way.
William like looks at Misha and she says trim but doesn't say anything.
Yeah, Misha doesn't say anything. She has opinions, but there's no point in bringing them up.
But yeah, so if that's a decision you're going to make,
I don't think she wants to leave her house. She says that she doesn't want to serve in a government or a barony or a county, as far as I understood that way.
Sounds boring.
Well, I assume you can do whatever you'd like in that area, but your problem is going to be the fact that you are exactly what you are. You are a she. Therefore, other she are going to expect you to do she-like things, which means be part of the bureaucracy.
Being the Count Leon is has a very hands-on approach to a lot of nobility. He gives them responsibility by being nobility.
yep. And sometimes that means that if you've accepted a title of any kind, he has certain expectations of your actions and your and the consequences of others' actions that will be around you.
Oh, I don't mind that.
It just means that you need to be. You should probably look at being sworn to somebody. That's what it means. Or other people are going to look at you really funny. And I'm not here to tell you what to do with your life, but you should know the consequences of your choices.
Mm-hmm. Just like one of the consequences of choosing to be sworn to someone is there will be a lot of weight placed on your shoulders. Even if it's just because you're married to someone in a position of power.
Oh, but I'm not gonna marry.
That's fine, but she was making the point about herself. She's Baroness because she is married to a Baron. So she married into responsibility, is what she's saying. In your case, you already have the title, which means you have the responsibility.
Mm-hmm. And you're even have more responsibility to me. You have a house that you're I don't want to say beholden to, but
Oathed to?
yeah, that.
I think like they do oaths when they join.
But isn't beholden mean like under the thumb of and has like negative connotations, while oath would be a lighter, happier, more politically correct term?
I mean, houses are political groups. If you go against that political agenda, they won't like you going against that political agenda.
All right, I was just checking. English is tonal, I guess.
It is. Beholden would mean. It would mean basically it means you owe somebody. If you're beholden to somebody, you owe something because
Oh,
of something like that. So probably oaths does make more sense. I mean, you do owe your house something, but that's not really what you were going for. Does that help?
it does.
Okay. Says the Puka Japanese speaker.
So, yeah, it's a
Just think on it.
direction.
Yeah,
Mhm.
just think about it for a bit. I mean, you're still young in our terms. Think on it.
Okay.
Alice lets out a sigh. It still kills me that I'm probably the youngest person at this table. However,
I,
Oh,
of course, am at least 21.
Timothy was 18, I believe.
Yes.
Well, Misha, as she said that, she just grins at William in particular.
so on other topics we were discussing, um, has anyone been to the Bronx lately?
I was.
She nods her head.
Its situation is the same. It's been the same for a long time. They need help. They need solutions. It's very obvious.
Uh, how are things going then with your motley?
Quite fine. Hold is um Hold is our cheerleader. We just recently decided that Hall is our cheerleader now,
We did?
didn't we?
I don't know. Is that what's happening? I mean, I think he would look great in a cheerleader costume. I mean,
Oh shit!
he looks great in skirts, but I mean, I don't
Guess
really
what?
think.
I just made a decision without you guys again. God damn it!
I mean, do I get to pick out the cheerleader costume?
He like fist bumps.
Yeah. She'll fist bump and be like, "Well, then I forgive you this time."
Thank you.
Hmm.
You see, we're great.
You know he'd wear it, right?
I do.
Wonder if I could get one in your size.
Thank you.
Ooh, and we could try to talk Bill into it.
God damn it! No.
Yes. Then I
No,
could
we
get
didn't
pictures.
go
You guys
there.
would be amazing.
William, would
No.
it make you feel better if I was wearing one?
I mean,
I
I
have
don't
one.
know.
Well, I have the one I used to have in high school. It might fit.
Thank you. Nice, but thanks. I actually gotta go because guess
'Cause
what? I need to do meet with the guards and all that jazz. So it was nice to
Or-
meet everybody again.
Or you're just trying really hard to avoid this conversation.
No, I'm really not. I'm just going back.
Well,
I'm
I'm
tired.
going back that way too. So give me a second. Let me pay for this, and I'll come back with you.
Okay.
And, well, I guess we've had a pretty long discussion. So it was, again, a pleasure to see both of you. And she looks towards the others. I'm just glad that both of you were able to make it out, Lady and Sir Noel.
And it was a pleasure to see you as well again, Baroness. This meeting has been absolutely lovely.
I
He's not
am
lying. He speaks the truth.
I'm glad that I could be a host for such an engaging event.
Conveniently, the food was also spectacular.
The Cauldron Houses know how to really spice things up.
Clearly so.
Next time I should take you to the best French food truck in the city.
He considers this. I'd be delighted.
Excellent. Hall really liked it too.
You realize that he eats carcasses, right?
He what?
He's a crow. You know what crows eat, right?
Rice, sake,
Eyes.
the
Roadkill.
That was a joke. That was a joke.
He
I
eats
gotta go.
roadkill.
Misha, let's go.
Okay, fine. Just put that in your head. Roadkill. As she looks at Alice and then kind of waves and to everybody there and starts to head off with William.
I'm wearing that cheerleader outfit for Halloween, she says as they're leaving.
I am wearing what I'm always wearing in Halloween. That's like William tells to Misha.
Are you
I
a caveman?
No, I prepared my V mask already.
Well, I might wear the same as last year. I don't know. Maybe I'll spice it up a little.
Okay. Guess I also gotta go and sleep, so see you guys later. Okay.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Later.
Yeah.
And
Bye
the Honorable Alin Gree shall rise for the court. And I'll say it was also a pleasure to finally meet you, Councilman Misha. He'll offer his hand again.
Oh, I'm sorry. She actually walked away with William after kind of
Okay, fair
acknowledging
enough.
everyone. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I think you'll just say goodbye to her then. And
If you had offered a hand, she would have shaken it, though.
oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, but yeah, she's gone.
He doesn't offer William the same courtesy. He just calls him, says goodbye to Councilman, just says Councilman, kind of nods his head at him, but isn't so warm. And he will then, state his farewells to the Baroness. Pay his part of the bill because he is polite and probably give a nice tip, and will drag his sister away.
All right, and I think that ends our scene. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. And thus concludes another game of Changeling the Dreaming 20th Anniversary Edition.